Interesting. We're not going to talk about it. We're just, you know, it didn't happen. There's no proof.
Oh, you found that one. Sorry, it wasn't much of a challenge. I was running out of time.
Shut up. I want to go back over there. Now, one thing I love about Arkham City that they definitely improved on is the addition of costumes or outfits to wear. Because in this one, the only real change in your outfit is that you progressively get more armored with the amount of, like, health upgrades that you do. And that's cool and everything. But I want, like, a classic animated skin or something. And I get that this was their first time dabbling with the character, so they probably didn't get rights to all that stuff, but it's just personal. I could probably mod them in now, but I don't want to do all that for Arkham Asylum. One of my favorite headcanons for the Lego Batman movie is that it's just Wally and Dick getting... I can't imagine that Lego Batman is any sort of, like, real engagement of Bruce Wayne. Sure, the movie's good and everything, but it's nothing like the character. But that's funny. That's a funny idea. That's the wrong can.
So, is this the part where you try and
Honestly, I would believe that it was like Child Damien. Like, let's say it's an alternate timeline where Damien gets, like, brought in at a young age by Bruce and just gets to live a normal life.
Normal is a poor choice of words. No one's really normal, are they?
Figured as much. So, how about this, Doc? You let me go now, and I won't eat you.
You don't really...
Right? Because, like, let's say that Talia, like, realizes, oh, hey, the League of Assassins is just insane. They're constantly just trying to blow up the world. They don't even really have an end goal. Because they don't, right? Their goal is constantly, let's burn down Gotham and make life better. And then they just... How are you going to do that? And it's always going to be like, oh, we're killing most of the people. That doesn't sound like a new world. That sounds like just population control. And Talia's like, you know what? I'm just going to take my son and go live with Bruce, because his plan is working much better than yours, clearly, considering he beats you literally every time you show up in Gotham. And then her and Bruce just raise Damien and fight the League of Assassins, and when Damien comes of age, he's like the ultimate Batman. Because he's got training from the entire Bat family and a League of Assassins headliner. Speaking of headline, let's get back to the Spider-Man topic real quick. Let me tell you about one of my favorite side stories. And it's when J. Jonah Jameson becomes Spider-Man and is significantly better than Peter, and Peter helps him. His name is Headline.
I put a few surprises along the way. Decided to turn up and spoil the fun. Oh, and if you hear a shot in the dark, don't worry. Very little chance.
Like I said, I have a lot of ideas in general that I plan on. I actually am writing a, I guess it would technically be a fanfic. I hate that word, though. But it's a plot where I call it Batman True Fear, and it is basically me doing what I believe would be justice to the Scarecrow character.
I was exposed to a wealth of new ideas. I began my day returning home in good spirits, eager to see my wife and family. I ended it kneeling in their blood, broken fragments of my life, pouring through dripping red fingers.
This is a cool feature that they added to the addition of the Spirit of Amadeus Arkham. Is a fun story. It's a fun ideal. All right. Goodbye, Sniper. I play a lot of the game in detective mode, and I should probably stop that because it's probably not very visually appealing for most people. I personally like looking directly into people's skulls like I'm Ghost Rider. Tunnel visioned. Like a camper in Call of Duty, buddy. You were tunnel visioned. Looking at nothing. Alright. And then there are just these guys down here for me to beat up.
It's the Bat! Don't let him hit you, idiots!
Unnecessary front flip is unnecessary. And now your arm is broken in 4 places. Wrecked nerd. I also love Detective Vision because it's like, oh yeah, look, unconscious, 32 BPM. Dude, I love the idea. I love the idea that all of the Arkham game thugs are just stupid. Because in, I believe it's Arkham Knight, you can hear thugs literally talking about how they're gonna beat Batman, and they're like, if he shows up, just charge him and yell. Works every time. Like, what? Are you dumb? And yes, they are dumb. That's the answer. Oh man. Here's a storyline that I hate in Gotham. I can't remember the name of the comic run because it was so dumb that I pushed it out of my mind. They made it to where Gotham was cursed, and I was like, that's such a cop-out response. Because just to say that Gotham is cursed and that's why it's so bad is such an easy out for a writer to not just be like, hey, the city just sucks. And, like, Jim Gordon's Son, I think, is a much better example of stuff like that being done. Because if you've read that story, with Jim Gordon's Son, what was the name of that one? I don't remember honestly, I'm horrible at remembering names of runs. I just remember they exist, and I remember the details to go into the runs. But Jim Gordon's son, Jim Gordon Jr., poisoned the water supply to make people more psychopathic. And you don't know whether or not it succeeded or not by the end of the comic. You just have to trust Gotham, because it ends on a baby's eyeball. Oh god. Ow. And you never know if he's actually like, you stop shooting me. Honestly, the storyline for Jason... I'm dead. No! There was another one. I wasn't paying attention. Storyline for Jason Todd in Arkham Knight is tragic. Wouldn't be surprised if Gotham was cursed. So it is cursed in one of the runs, and I hate it. It's so easy to say, oh, there's just a curse. But here's the thing. You can break a curse. I'd rather it just be like, hey, the city sucks, the people suck. Because if it's a curse, he could literally be like, hey, Constantine, literally Zatanna, Dr. Fate, any of the hundreds of magic people I know, can you just fix this real quick? And he would do that because, like, here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize that at the end of the day, Bruce cares more about the city than being Batman. Like, people don't realize how ready Bruce is to just give up being Batman if it means the city is safe. And another thing about Batman's no-kill rule, because a lot of people get this wrong, right? A lot of people like the quote, if you kill a killer, the amount of killers stay the same. And it's like, that's obviously not true. If you're one killer and you kill 100 killers, obviously you're still doing a net positive in terms of, like, the bad people of the world. The reason Batman doesn't kill is because he values human life. Every life. No matter how infinitesimal that you think it might be. No matter how far gone that person might be, he values that life. That is why Batman doesn't kill, because he values all human life. Not because he believes that killing is, like, just morally high, or some, like, oh, I'll never come back. And sure, like, he might go on a killing spree, he might be that psychopathic, but it's mostly that he just values human life.
What are you scared of? Scared? Yes, scared. There's obviously something that made you what you are. What if?
Right, see, that right there is the misconception, though. Him not coming back if he crosses the line is only a possibility in, like, 1 or 2 plots. Because there are plenty of times where Batman has killed, and he's just stopped. Because it was, like, for the greater good. It's not that he will just go insane and become the Batman who laughs or something like that if he commits one murder. And it's not because it's illegal. One of the primary... Because you can even find... I can probably pull up the comic panel at some point. But Batman doesn't kill specifically because, one, it is what took his parents away. That is the crime that took his parents away. So, he doesn't do it because of that one reason, and also because he values all human life and finds it all precious. That's why he's constant... That's why when Batman stops a villain, he doesn't like, immediately throw them into prison. He tries to take them to Arkham or some kind of therapy section or something like that because he believes that everyone deserves another chance to be better. And I'm fine with the concept of, oh, hey, he doesn't want to go down that road because, you know, he thinks he'll probably, you know, there's a possibility he'll like it. He's scared that he'll like it. And that's fair. But I don't like it when it's the primary reason for him not killing, because it seems almost... Hello, Amadeus Arkham. You can also hear knocking on this, I believe, if you stand at the right spot. Maybe not. They might have taken it out. Or maybe we were lied to. I don't know. But when his primary reason for not killing is specifically because he will kill more people, it kind of dilutes his value of human life, and I don't like that as his primary reason. Sure, it can be a factor, but I definitely prefer Batman when it's more of him caring about humanity. Because let's take into account the Justice League animated series and the Batman animated series, right? In the Justice League animated series, one of the cruxes of every bad thing happening ends up being Flash dying. Because Flash, Wally West particularly, is the best hero in the Justice League. Because he actually cares about and tries to care for all of his villains despite how horrible they are. And that is the message Batman wants to send, which is why it is always... in the Justice Lord timeline, in the Injustice timeline, any timeline where the supervillains or the superheroes, or they swap places or whatever, it is always Batman who tries to take the place of the Flash. What the hell? By being a better hero. Or why it is always Batman who is the most affected by Flash's death.
Any available psychos, killers, maimers, and murderers that are not yet in the old mansion?
I spent a lot of time yapping there, basically saying the exact same thing. No! Stop! I hate these guys. Oh, you're cooked, brother. Oh, never mind, I'm cooked. He apparently saw me. Is there one down there? No. Alright. I've made it around. They've lost sight of me. I'm gonna go over here and get them both.
Joker here.
By the way, these aren't sniper rifles in their hands. Let's take a look at this guy real quick. That is not a sniper rifle. He's not only does he not have a scope, but he doesn't have, like... This is so annoying to me. That is, at best, some type of, like, sci-fi assault rifle without a scope, and apparently it's got IR lasers coming directly out of the barrel. Come on, guys, do better. Also, they suck. Wha-bam. Into the building we go. And now I can get the full upgrade. Now I'm immortal. They can't ever stop me. I'm too strong.
Any available psychos,
Local bat too strong to die.
maimers and murderers that are not yet in the old mansion?
Alright, we're at the main hall. There's a gun there.
Cousin in Metropolis needs some heavies for his security company. You know, knocking on doors, collecting money.
Breaking some legs if they don't pay.
Good times. You want in? I can put in.
Go to sleep to myself anytime I do silent takedown. Oh my god, you're Jeff the Killering them? Oh no, not that guy. Not Jeff the Killer. Not Jeffrey. The edge flashbacks. Ooh, that was a horrible hit. I typically try to knock out smash as many people as I can because I think it is far more terrifying. I'm weird about it. I like to be Batman playing on fear, because that's the thing, is Batman, the reason he does it is to make criminals afraid. So, in my mind, to make them more afraid, would you be more scared that a guy was silently picked off and left unconscious, or would you be more scared that all you heard was a giant crash and now your friend is unconscious on the ground. And there's nothing around.
Ha! The only way I could have made that one easier to find is if I strapped it to the hood of that ludicrously ostentatious vehicle of yours.
You know, for a guy talking so much trash about the Batmobile, Riddler, you sure do find an interest in it in Arkham Knight. No, Jeff the... Okay, firstly, Jeff the Killer is not terrifying. That is the cringiest nerd ever. I would punch him in his face. I have no fear of Jeff the Killer whatsoever, and will never have fear of Jeff the Killer. I would beat that guy up so fast. And also, the story? Oh, no. Not great. Not great. The only thing terrifying about him is the fact that I would die of cringe if I heard him speak. Was I not supposed to go here? Nope. Wait, maybe. Definitely wasn't supposed to go to the Botanical Gardens. Oh, I know what I'm missing. It's right there. I'm a dum-dum. I'm a little stupid. It's okay. It happens. Following on TikTok who's doing a creepypasta rewrite, and honestly, it's looking cool. I'm fine with stuff like that. You could totally make those stories interesting, but hey, kid gets bullied, kid is edgy, kid gets acid-washed face and starts being cringe.
I returned to my work.
When we were younger, it was like, yeah, sure, that was a thing that existed, and like Laughing Jack and all that, but like the real scary stuff, like the real actual horror stuff didn't start happening until I honestly think pretty recently. Like there's things like Baraska and Pen Pal and The Thing in the Basement. The Thing in the Basement is still kind of cringe, but like just things that are like objectively better stories being written, or like The Rake. The Rake is a significant... I like the idea of The Rake because that concept scares me. Things like that exist. I have never, ever been, like, worried about Jeff the Killer. Like, sure, the face was creepy and everything. I can crouch in Gotham Knights and kept dying in the maze. Oh, no! Not forgetting to crouch. And, like, horror stories, and like, I love horror stories, and I love creepypasta and stuff like that, just because they're interesting to see other people's perspective. I like studying that stuff because I like the aspect of fear in general. Which is, again, probably why I like Batman and Scarecrow so much. But what was I talking about? Jeff the Killer, creepypastas and stuff. Hey, guys. This is gonna be a big fight. Oh, come on. Come on now. The combo ends just a bit too quick in this one. I've never understood that particular takedown because it looks like he just makes his heel touch his butt cheeks, and that wouldn't break my leg. Like, sure, it wouldn't feel great, but it wouldn't break my leg. Your arm is mine! See, that would break someone's arm. I was also 13. So, I have no clue how old I was when I got into, like, creepy stories and stuff. I've always liked them. Like, always. But I have no idea when I got onto the internet and started looking them up and finding them. But I'm 26 now. So I probably should have grown out of it a long time ago, but I didn't. So here I am. And honestly, this is my little cringe moment in terms of creepypasta and horror and things like that. I would love to meet Wendigoon in real life and just, like, talk to the guy. He seems like a real nice guy.
Another one of the easy ones. Don't feel
Is this...
too proud.
That's an X-ray machine. And, like, I feel like I'd have fun hanging out with Meat Canyon, but I also don't think me and him would really get along that well. Just, like, outside of liking horror stories. Yeah, so I didn't get unrestricted internet access until I was like, I want to say like 12. But the reason for that is because we never had internet until I was like 12. Ben Drowned. Ben Drowned is a classic. Ben Drowned is a classic. Happy Mass Salesman was there, doing pretty much the same thing. If we're gonna talk about classic creepypastas, I like some of the more obscure ones. Like, obviously I like The Rake, but The Sandman was really cool. What's the name of the one? Funny Mouth was interesting, which was my first, like, internet horror, like, pass-around thing, like Smile Dog almost. Stuff like that. And if we're talking like old school ones, then probably... I gotta pick carefully here. If we're talking like the top tier old school ones, then I gotta go with Slenderman, just because that was everywhere doing everything and it heavy lifted that whole community. Like, Slenderman was the John Cena of creepypastas, because without them, creepypasta would have fallen into obscurity a long time ago. But because Slenderman existed, creepypasta kept going for a long, long time.